Hey guys, welcome back to another What If. Here today we're doing part 11 to What If Naruto was born with a kitsune genkai. If you know what happened in the last part, there'll be a link in the description down below which takes you to a playlist where you can watch all the previous parts in order if you haven't watched any of them. And yeah guys, also sorry for not uploading yesterday. The somewhat reason why it was / is for one, I'm tired. At the time of recording this, I'm somewhat tired. I have been feeling tired for the last 2 or 3 days due to the heat and humidity, both working very much against somewhat me. Anyway, so yeah, it's not been a fun couple of days. And yeah, that, and I also had a somewhat small panic attack as I ended up trying to kind of throw it, like pull it back on line with Canon, and of course I was going custom this time around, and yes, I momentarily kind of just freaked out, panic, something, pretend like, oh my god, I have to do this, and then yeah, I ended up going half an hour into it when I just went, yeah, I can't somewhat do it. So half an hour in the midst of a panic attack, quietly. Well, yeah, quite interesting. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I know video. What if? So yeah. Anyway, sorry for rambling on, but let's now get into this. So the mission would continue, and Sakura would somewhat think about what Kakashi somewhat had told her, and somewhat as well would kind of just somewhat watch kind of Naruto as it would go from somewhat well, she would now do being this female and herself, go from either somewhat pole dancing to somewhat kind of walking around, somewhat swaying hips in such a way that just drew your eyes somewhat to them and kind of turn a switch on in somewhat in you that you didn't know you had, and you just got drawn to her to then go into the somewhat a kind of more highly private, somewhat private room where you can then make out and have sex, where she would then proceed to somewhat takes you to such a point that by the time you got out, you'd probably end up falling asleep by the somewhat entrance, which after it started actually somewhat doing that to such a degree that the owner had somewhat kind of nicknamed her the somewhat the succubus. Yeah. And yeah, though Kakashi had ended up seeing that somewhat, or had somewhat figured that he'd seen the male kind of stalker, as there was a male and female one, or at least just one, and well, yeah, he wasn't sure if Naruto was married, funny, because any time somewhat she was pole dancing like that, it really didn't look like she was paying any attention, even when she was going around serving drinks or anything like that. Zero attention seemingly, but of course unknown to him, she very much was, and was also doing seduction at the very same time, so it was why he couldn't really tell, because she was very much doing it, just in a very different way. And well, yeah, it's also why he couldn't somewhat keep eyes on her for too long, otherwise he'd probably end up doing it with her. Anyway though, time would go by, and well, yeah, somewhat a couple more days would go by as they would then be heading back to Konoha with mission accomplished. And yeah, Sakura would of course somewhat be wondering, and she'd finally decide that she would kind of somewhat kind of start truly breaking out of her kind of fangirlish shell, which she was still pretty much in, which was why Tsunade hadn't bothered to train her in anything besides from show her how to amplify her strength with chakra. That was it. And yeah, and while the somewhat better. Well, if Snyder obviously wasn't going to help until she proved that she wasn't, a fangirl anymore. Somewhat she'd have to somewhat train with Naruto, and while she knew that would probably be a bad idea due to the fact that Naruto's training would probably put her through hell and back, or put her to such hell that she wished she'd die a billion times by the end of the day, or by an hour into it, better yet, or at least that's what she figured. And well, yeah, so as they'd continue to jump through the trees to get back to Konoha, she'd they'd just head off back to Konoha. And somewhat after the somewhat reporting that they'd leave, and Naruto Sakura would ask Naruto for somewhat actual kind of training in that, and yeah, though after somewhat talking back and forth between the two, Naruto would end up somewhat nodding, though even tell her that she couldn't complain or moan, and that the training will take her from seduction to very much having sex and everything from Maria. She'd somewhat nodded as she asked for training. She was now just going to break her truly of her fangirlish ways and make her Kunoichi a true, respectable Kunoichi. And yeah, and so they would somewhat start their training. Also, though, as somewhat they would leave, Tsunade would ask Kakashi to stay. And well, yeah, once they'd of course leave, Sakura would of course ask Naruto anyway. Yeah, though Kakashi would somewhat, though before he could somewhat speak, she'd tell her Anbu to leave, which they would, and somewhat when the door shut, Kakashi would of course put his book away and would stand at attention, ready for the possible next mission, be it AOS or whatever. And she'd look at him as she'd go, the information somewhat you gave us from what Sasori gave you prior to his death was kind of somewhat right, though it seemed like what's his name, the Kabuto was somewhat a traitor and planned to kill Sasori anyway, so yeah, you've got to him fast. Yeah, Kakashi would somewhat nod as they would obviously talk about what had happened, what somewhat happened on the mission. Though it was overall a somewhat, well, yeah, it was kind of either a success or failure, mainly failure, but oh well. You can't have them all to be a success. And yeah. And well, yeah, from there a good somewhat week or two would go by as Kakashi would ramp up the team's training, as of course somewhat Sasuke, but yeah, Orochimaru was of course getting weaker and weaker, and yeah, of course somewhat sooner or later Naruto would get the somewhat message from Sasuke, better get obviously somewhat ready, it's going to happen in, I'm going to go and attack him in somewhat so many minutes or hours or that, and yeah, and obviously somewhat Tsunade had a more so her close, somewhat the somewhat the rookie, somewhat the Jonin that are somewhat Asuma, Kurenai, guy, Kekkai, obviously, she was also gonna go, July was, and yeah, a couple of others, or somewhat others as well, highly trusted enough to know the fact that Naruto knows the hierarchy level, well, possibly, well, yeah, more or less too, because one pulled the user towards it, and I think two teleported it. I'm not quite sure that it is a difference, because somewhat, yeah, because not unless that was a different jutsu, sort of from it, like version, like beta version. Yeah. Anyway, though, yeah, though they would somewhat keep on training her, and then somewhat well, yeah, because they'd get a report about somewhat the obviously somewhat S rank, somewhat ninja coming. Well, yeah, of course, doing somewhat the training, somewhat no, yeah, Naruto already finalised his actual somewhat human, actual somewhat, well, his true, well, his natural forms, elemental affinity, which is wind, though with a minor fire and lightning. When he switches into his kitsune form, those minors become the main, so he pretty much gets a main fire and lightning with a somewhat a barely well, yeah, a somewhat a small wind affinity. So yeah, well, yeah, and also Kekkai would enlighten Naruto to the fact that the Rasengan isn't actually truly complete, and that the last step was an impossible step for the fourth, because he died before he could complete it. Naruto would be curious and ask what that was, and he'd simply state to add nature affinity, while an elemental nature to the Rasengan. Kekkai should go, and that's how I actually came up with the Chidori, or well, how the Chidori was born. As I was trying to add my lightning affinity to some of the Rasengan, and it ended up collapsing into the Chidori. So yeah, I got a jutsu from it, but I'd failed. And wow, considering you're somebody's son / daughter, I think it's only fitting that you actually get to do truly complete it. And yeah, and so somewhat you'd get that, and well, yeah, thanks to his somewhat greater natural somewhat control over his chakra, thanks to Tsunade, you'd somewhat get it down slightly faster, but not by much, by a couple of minutes to that, though of course yeah, though overall this was happening early, slightly earlier, though obviously he didn't need to do level 1, he was just finishing up on some level 2, which with his with the multi-cyclone jutsu, he'd spent a day on it, so pretty much he had like an extra week, or well, 2 if not 3, or even a month to actually do the Rasengan Shuriken. So yeah, still take roughly the same amount of time, just maybe like a couple of hours lesser than what he did to be able to do it. Yeah, though Tsunade did not call him in, because yeah, and yeah, she would, well, not she would call in Kakashi, and she would ask Kakashi if his team was ready, was potentially ready, like if Naruto's potential new jutsu, because she wouldn't know what it was, someone is ready, or what someone was it not, was it not? It would, Kakashi would think about it and would go, well, it's in a very usable state. It tends to have a habit of destabilizing, but yeah, it's in more time, it's more usable than it was a couple of days ago. So hi, should go good, because if your team wasn't, I'd have to send Asuma, and well, some team 10 instead. And of course, I'd rather send your team as well. Somewhat obviously 2 Jonin are better than 1 Jonin and 3 Chunin. Somewhat well, yeah, you'd nod. And then she'd also ask how Sakura's training was going, and Kakashi would go, well, I don't really know. She'd go, what do you mean? It's like, I'm not the one who's training. Well, yes, once we somewhat train every day for a bit, Naruto's the main one who's actually training her, or at least a shadow clone of him is actually training her, so only really Naruto truly knows her current progress. But from what I have seen, like going up against her, she's actually starting to come along, and while somewhat well, yeah, and once if you to well, tell her that you train her, she'd probably turn you down to the fact she still currently sees herself as some form of a fangirl, and that. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure whenever she'll eventually ask you, but I'd say wait until then if you want to potentially train, give her one last shot. Tsunade would just nod as well. Yeah. Well, yes. So well, yeah. So then tell Kakashi to go get his 2 other somewhat teammates, and he'll someone would then inform them. He'd nod and he'd disappear. Seconds later, they'd all appear in a somewhat flash of white. Oh well, yeah, in a somewhat small flash of white. And yeah, Tsunade and then well, yeah, somewhat they would all, well, yeah. From there, she'd then tell them about some of the Akatsuki that they've been spotted, somewhat, yeah, coming into the land of fire. Yeah, and so from there, well, yeah, they would of course somewhat go out on the village border patrol looking for S-rank shinobi, and yeah, somewhat you can see Sakura was somewhat somewhat scared, though he'd would tell her to somewhat just somewhat stay calm, and yeah, she'd somewhat she'd somewhat nod, and she'd state would still go still somewhat bit scared it's somewhat S-rank, and yeah, I know somewhat against Naruto went up against Orochimaru, but I feel like these people are even stronger than Orochimaru, which Kakashi no, I'm just saying, more than likely Sakura they are. And yeah, which would obviously somewhat make her feel somewhat even more scared, but She'd take a couple of deep breaths as Kekkai tell her that somewhat, well, yeah, like there would be hopefully no holding back, and yeah, and so eventually they end up coming up across Hidon and Kakasu, because they, oh yeah, and it'd be a slightly similar situation, like somewhat team 10 and Cannon had, though the only difference was that instead of, say, Asuma, or which would be, say, Kekkai in this case, so, you know, going up against Hidon, yeah, who'd actually somewhat been Naruto. And somewhat the reason why is because any damage Hidon takes is reflected onto Naruto, or his opponent. So any technical changes done to any changes once he's got the blood, like the blood or that. So any changes that Naruto does to himself is also reflected onto Hidon. So in other words, it's a two-way street. And in a way, at the current minute, the second Hidon gets Naruto's blood, they both in a way become immortal, and that if Naruto stabs himself through the heart, Hidon would be, I'd think, possibly the one to die, or if Hidon obviously stabs himself in the heart, Naruto's the one that dies. Though of course having the 9 tails and that does make it, yeah, you know, 100 or so times worse, as I'd think that obviously if Naruto uses Fox Chakra, the, of course, whilst Naruto would somewhat be used to using it in small amounts and that, Hidon, obviously being no Tenshinriki ever, wouldn't be used to the corrosive somewhat effects of the chakra, and like Canon Orochimaru somewhat fight the bridge mission that we skipped over and gave a team. Yeah, would somewhat go on, would somewhat happen, and would literally start disintegrating. Pretty much, it'd start eating literally away. And yeah, well, yeah, and that's why Naruto, well, yeah, they'd obviously somewhat battle, and no matter how much stronger she'd get, eventually Hidon would end up getting some of his blood rich. Kakasu would simply state that it would be the end, so end now, as well, yeah, though he'd tell obviously Hidon to not kill him due to the fact they would need him for the 9 tails. Though he would just somewhat go, yeah, I know, as he'd, you know, apply some damage to Naruto, though the ironic thing is that it was Naruto, you're trying to damage someone who heals quite rapidly. And, well, yeah, even though blood would be coming out from Hidon, and blood as well from Naruto, from wherever he's, like, cut his arm, steam would start appearing and would heal, but it wouldn't heal Hidon because it was only damage that got inflicted, nothing more. So Naruto could heal and Hidon wouldn't, in a way. So, well, yeah, and both Hidon and Kakasu would be somewhat shocked at Naruto's vast regenerative abilities. And, well, yeah, of course, Hidon would somewhat obviously go and state that somewhat no matter what he wouldn't die, though Kakashi would realise that this was that Hidon kind of was almost saying this in some type of somewhat response to almost kind of somewhat getting Naruto potentially angered, which would be stupid, because if healing was one way and only Naruto could obviously somewhat say heal, or that, or well, both obviously could heal, just Naruto a lot damn faster. If pain was a two-way, then could Naruto kill him by pure pain overload, just overloading Hidon's body from so much pain? And yeah, it would somewhat tell Naruto to use the fox chakra, should somewhat turn the head and go, what are you on about? Think. You'd simply state, think what he can do, think of what he just done and what hasn't occurred to him. He'd would somewhat curse and would go and somewhat cut his other arm, which would cause Naruto to momentarily grit his teeth, though sending chakra to his arm would cause it to nearly instantly heal, as his Uzumaki chakra does have a healing factor to it. So the more chakra sent to a wound, the faster it would heal. So, well, yeah, he's got shite ton of chakra, so it near instantly heal. That, and he's also in his he's also a she in her kitsune state of fifth tail. So, well, yeah. And she'd realise again, she practically healed, but Hedon wasn't. Hedon was still dripping from blood, so pain was 2A, but healing wasn't. And she'd go, okay then, Sensei, let's see how much you can handle, as she'd perceive to pull on she'd go into her mind as time would simply go to a crawl, and she'd go, hey Fox, I know we haven't been on the greatest of, say, terms, but could you at least let me use a small amount of your chakra so that this idiot can finally know pain, the pain he'd caused to many people. Though the fox would just look at her somewhat, and as she'd go, I wouldn't use the chakra otherwise. Heck, I haven't used it in since the Valley of the since the forest of either the Forest of Death or something like that, or Haku's Fight. And yeah, the fox would somewhat mull over it as he'd go, fine, this once. And she could feel the fox's chakra run throughout as she'd leave her mind, though just as she'd leave, she'd quietly say thank you as she'd leave. And back in the real world, she'd gain the fox's cloak, the Nine Tails' cloak, and Hedon would immediately start yelling in pain. And Kakuzu would yell at him to get out, cut the circle, whatever. But yeah, that's what Kakuzu would say, though Hedon would just be in immense amount of just so much pain. It was so just corrosive, it feels so strong yet so damn corrosive. Of course, the corrosive effect, Naruto's own natural healing ability, could outdo it, but of course Kakuzu couldn't. He couldn't out-heal the corrosive effects, and well, of course, because Naruto's own body is used to the chakra since he was born. There was no damage done using the 1 through 3. So it was a 1 tails, 2 tails, or 3 tailed cloak. But to Kakuzu, Hedon never, obviously being a Jinchuriki, would never have somebody experience the corrosive, the corrosiveness of the chakra. And due to the fact it was the 9 tails, it would set his veins afire. His veins, his chakra network just felt like it was lava, pretty much. His blood felt like it was boiling. It was beyond boiling, it felt like, and he would just be yelling out, and Naruto would just be standing there like it was a normal day for her. And, well, yeah, Sakura and Kakashi to some extent, was this the pain? No, this was the pain from someone who never had the chakra of a tailed beast run through them ever. And yeah, Sakura would just kind of stand there staring as well, and somewhat Kakashi would then jump in and start to kind of, or at least would try and sort of fight, though he would, though Kakashi would of course somewhat jumping as well, and would fight against him as Sakura, and even tell Sakura to potentially maybe even actually have to heal Naruto. And yeah, though eventually somewhat Hidon would end up kind of falling out of the somewhat Sakura, which would be the bad thing to do, because with it now cancelled, Naruto, well yeah, Naruto would go over and would think to the fox, somewhat how much of your chakra would be enough to just end him. And the fox would go, well, depends on how slow you want to make it, or how painful. The more, the faster, the more painful. So yeah, though after somewhat a bit should send a roundabout gaining somewhat amount of chakra into him, which would of course call the Nine-Tails Kytopia around him, and he just, and well, yeah, his skin would just slowly peel away, and from there the muscles, the blood, the bone, and yeah, he would literally just start disintegrating as he'd be yelling out in pain. And yeah, he was in truly painful once. It wasn't like if someone cut off his head, he could plop it back on like it was nothing. It would just be an annoyance. This was true pain. He felt true fear. He was going to actually die. And yeah, though from the now to try and form a Rasen Shuriken, though it ended up failing once. The second time she would end up using a substitution with a shadow clone, with it dispelling. Somewhat Kakashi would go wide-eyed, Sakura would breathe a sigh of relief, and Kakashi would also somewhat would sigh as they would then hear the high-pitched humming as Naruto would yell out, "Rasen Shuriken!" as it would impact Kakashi's back, as it would then seemingly go to shrink as he would shoot on forward, and it would just fire him forward some distance before shrinking down and then blowing up. Kakashi would pull up his handgun as he'd mutter, I can't count all of them, as he'd lower it, as he'd yell out, prepare for the shockwave, thankfully he'd yelled out just in the time as the shockwave would end up hitting him, and Sakura would just barely be able to stand, sending chakra as much as he can into the ground to anchor her. And Kakashi and Sakura would just be completely downright awed and dumbfounded at the sheer power. And Sakura would go, what was that, Sensei? And he'd go, the true power of the Rasengan should go to true power. Yeah, Sakura, true power. And though of course it would come with the massive with a massive drawback. And though once the explosion was over, she'd end up asking Kekkai what she meant by the true power, and Kekkai would end up telling her on how he came up with how he ended up coming up with his move, the Chidori, and how Naruto is now officially the first and only ever one to truly complete the Rasengan. And he'd somewhat tell her that the Rasengan naturally can outbeat his lightning cutter, which can cut pure natural lightning, which is an S rank jutsu. And if the Rasengan's stronger than that, which is an A rank, and the lightning cutter is an S rank, it's just naturally more powerful. Rasen Shuriken is, clearly S rank. And Kekkai would end up going over and killing Mo and somewhat doing the final blow. And though he'd end up sealing away Kakazu's body, and Sakura would go over to somewhat the kind of hell Naruto, though she would end up realizing that some of his chakra points in his arm was was gone. And she'd tell him, though Naruto would ask if something would be fine, she'd go, you will be, and they would somewhat return, but I'm not sure when, but I would presume if you keep on using that, Naruto, you're eventually going to lose complete your entire network in your hand, and you'll never be able to use chakra in your hand again. The chakra network is slow to heal and reform, Naruto, so Naruto just somewhat nods. It'd of course be annoyed, it'd be angry, disappointed, whatever, he finally masters that, and he's got he's got an insane backlash, so Kekkai would tell him that it is a one-shot kill jutsu, so it has that going for it, but if one-shot that you can only use once every 2 to 3 years isn't a good jutsu. Well, though Kekkai just simply say, then we just have to find a way around that now, don't we? And after Sakura just kind of sighs, she'd just go, of course, though, and somewhat knowing use, Naruto will end up figuring a way around it eventually. And there are 2 ways around it: the Nine Tails chakra, or the what's it called, run in Sage mode. And so they would somewhat head back, and Naruto would end up being in the hospital somewhat for a while, mainly because of somewhat Tsunade, though Naruto would be still making a cyclone to train Sakura into the ground every day. And of course Tsunade would end up telling Kekkai the same thing she did in Ken, which was that it was somewhat a jutsu that absolutely obliterated the person's network, so even if they survived, they would never be able to use chakra ever again, which and so it goes, so I'd presume S rank, so just tell Kekkai, I would say Kekkai possibly even higher. I think Kekkai would just stare at her in shock and should say, due to the backlash to the user, I'm gonna have to forbid it for now. It'd quack an eyebrow and she'd go, I know yous. And I know Naruto especially, he's going to figure out a way around it. And when he does, it won't be forbidden anymore. Sure, it's a one-shot kill jutsu, but Naruto isn't one to use it haps. Right, he's not going to use it in a spar or that. If he would, I'd be very, very worried unless he's using it against his own clones or, yeah. But yeah. And, yeah, from there, somewhat David nod and, well, yeah, and that's why I'm going to end this what if, or my part here, guys. So if you haven't enjoyed this, tell me in the comments down below. If you want part 12, also tell me, and if you disliked it or find it boring, do tell me so I can make future what ifs better. Yeah, guys. Hope you have a good day or night, depending on wherever you are and whenever you watch this, and good. Bye!